Ready to discover Cartagena's vibrant streets, crystal clear waters, and thrilling adventures in just 3 days? Whether you're craving beach bliss, cultural treasures, or unforgettable nightlife, this ultimate Cartagena itinerary has you covered. Get ready for an action-packed trip filled with hidden gems, insider tips, and can't-miss experiences that will make your Colombian getaway one for the books. And don't forget to subscribe for more travel itineraries to fuel your next adventure. Best time to visit. Cartagena is a tropical paradise with warm weather all year round, but the best time to visit is between December and April. This period sees the least rain and offers plenty of sunny days, making it perfect for beach lovers. You'll also avoid the crowds that flock during the peak holiday months of December and January. During this time, expect vibrant events like the Hay Festival in January, which brings an air of literary sophistication, and Cartagena International Musical Festival, featuring mesmerizing classical performances. City Airport Tips. Flying into Rafael Núñez International Airport, CTG, is your gateway to Cartagena's colorful streets and tropical beaches. The airport is just a short 10-minute drive from the old city. Taxis are plentiful and affordable, with an average fare of 5 to 7 USD into town. For a more adventurous start to your journey, consider using the airport shuttle service, which will drop you off right in the heart of the action for just 3 USD. Where to stay in Cartagena? Old City Centro Histórico. If you want to be immersed in Cartagena's colonial charm, this is the place to stay. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site with cobblestone streets, vibrant buildings, and historical landmarks at every corner. Prices range from 80 to 150 USD per night for boutique hotels. Getsemani. This is where Cartagena's soul comes alive. Known for its street art and lively vibe, Getsemani is a favorite for budget-conscious travelers and backpackers. Expect to pay around 50 to 100 USD per night for boutique hotels and hostels. Boca Grande. For a more modern experience in beachfront luxury, Boca Grande offers stunning high-rise hotels with ocean views. Nightly rates range from 150 to 250 USD. How to get around Cartagena. Cartagena's compact size makes it easy to explore. The best way to soak in the city's atmosphere is by walking through its historic streets. For longer trips, taxis are affordable and can be hailed from almost any corner for about 4 to 6 USD per ride within the city. Another fun way to get around is by renting a bicycle, available for about 10 USD per day. You can also hop on the Cartagena tourist bus, which costs about 10 USD and offers unlimited hop-on, hop-off service, making it a convenient way to visit major attractions. Day 1. Unveil the wonders of Cartagena. Morning. Castle San Felipe de Barajas. The first stop in Cartagena should definitely be an early morning visit to Castillo San Felipe de Barajas, the city's most iconic historical landmark. This fortress, nearly 500 years old, stands as one of the most impressive remnants of Colombia's Spanish colonial past. Perched on a hill with sweeping views over Cartagena, this castle once played a crucial role in defending the city. Today, it offers a fascinating glimpse into the country's turbulent history, and the view from the top is truly breathtaking. I recommend visiting just after sunrise when the castle opens at 7 a.m. At that time, it's peaceful, and you'll have the place almost to yourself, allowing you to take in the panoramic views without the crowds. Plus, by getting there early, you'll beat the intense heat and humidity that kicks in later in the day. Since the castle doesn't offer much shade, it's best to explore outdoor attractions like this one in the cooler morning hours. There's plenty to explore inside the castle too, like climbing through its many tunnels, wandering the steep staircases, and discovering different levels that were once used for defense. Entry costs about $7.60 USD, and you can either grab your tickets at the entrance or buy them online in advance. Insider tip. While most of the information posted around the site is in Spanish, guides are available at the entrance if you want to dive deeper into the history of the fortress. They're well worth it if you're interested in a more detailed experience. Breakfast at Epoca Cafe Bar. After exploring the castle, it's time to treat yourself to a delicious breakfast. Just a 20-minute walk from Castillo San Felipe de Barajas, you'll find a Poca Cafe bar, one of my absolute favorite spots in Cartagena. This cafe has it all: charming decor, friendly staff, and of course, amazing food. And since you're in Colombia, you know the coffee's going to be exceptional. The baristas here are super knowledgeable and love sharing their passion for coffee, so it's the perfect place for my fellow caffeine lovers. For breakfast, I highly recommend trying the calentado epoca or the chilaquiles, both of which are bursting with flavor. Prices range from 8 to 12 USD depending on what you order, but every bite is worth it. If you're looking for something lighter or have a sweet tooth, their pastries are also out of this world. Mid-morning, explore the walled city. After breakfast, you'll be in the perfect spot to start exploring Cartagena's enchanting walled city, the historic heart of the city. This area is steeped in history, with its walls originally built to protect the city from pirate attacks. Today, they stand as some of the best preserved fortifications in all of South America, stretching for about 6.8 miles, 11 kilometers, and offering a glimpse into Cartagena's colonial past. As you wander through the walled city, you'll be surrounded by stunning, brightly colored colonial buildings, many of which have been transformed into stylish bars, restaurants, and boutique hotels. Be sure to wear comfortable shoes because you'll spend most of the day on your feet, from strolling along the ancient stone walls to admiring the architecture and browsing the cute local shops for souvenirs. Some must-see spots within the walled city include the Catedral de Santa Catalina de Alejandría, the Santuario de San Pedro Claver, and the famous Torre del Reloj clock tower, which is the main entrance to the city. Don't forget to visit Plaza de Santo Domingo, where you'll find a famous sculpture by Botero, perfect for a quick photo op. If you're a fan of history and culture, consider stopping by museums like the Museum of Cartagena de Indias or the Museo Naval del Caribe, which both offer fascinating insights into Cartagena's past. Entrance fees for these museums typically range between 5 to 10 USD. Lastly, no visit to the walled city is complete without taking a stroll along part of the ancient walls themselves. You'll be treated to stunning views of both the ocean and the city skyline, a picture-perfect moment. Insider tip: you'll likely come across local women dressed in colorful traditional outfits, balancing fruit baskets on their heads. They make for a fantastic photo opportunity, but keep in mind that they'll expect you to pay for the picture, usually around 2 to 3 USD. Make sure to negotiate the price beforehand to avoid any surprises. Afternoon, stroll at Getsemani. Another part of Cartagena that completely stole my heart is Getsemani, the hip and trendy neighborhood just on the edge of the walled city. Imagine the colorful buildings and narrow streets of the walled city, but with a more youthful bohemian vibe. That's Getsemani in a nutshell. It's the perfect spot for those who love a mix of culture, street art, and local charm. On your way to Getsemani, take a relaxing stroll to Centenario Park, a peaceful green space with towering palm trees and plenty of beaches to chill on. It's a great place to take a break and soak in the tropical atmosphere. Once you arrive in Getsemani, it's best to just wander and explore. It's a small neighborhood, so you can easily cover it on foot. A must-see is Plaza de la Trinidad, a lively square where you'll hear music, see locals hanging out, and find street vendors selling everything from fresh fruit juices to empanadas. At night, the square really comes alive with people socializing, playing music, and enjoying the warm Cartagena air. Getsemani is also famous for its vibrant street art. As you walk through the neighborhood, keep your eyes peeled for colorful murals splashed across walls and buildings. It's like an open-air gallery. Two streets you absolutely shouldn't miss are Calle de la Lomba and Calle de las Sombrillas. They're my favorite spots for street art hunting and perfect for capturing some Instagram-worthy photos. It's hard to believe that not so long ago, Getsemani was a rough and run-down area plagued by crime, but today it's been transformed into one of the most vibrant and culturally rich neighborhoods in Cartagena. Despite this overhaul, it's managed to keep its authentic local charm, which makes it a must-visit during your 3 days in Cartagena. Insider tip: While exploring Getsemani, try some of the street food. You can find arepas and empanadas for as little as $1 to $2 USD, and they're delicious. Plus, don't hesitate to stop and chat with the locals. They're incredibly friendly and often happy to share recommendations for the best spots in the neighborhood. Sunset at Café del Mar. Before your feet completely give out from a day of exploring, take a leisurely 20-minute stroll to Café del Mar, just in time for sunset. Perched on the western edge of the old city walls, Café del Mar is hands down one of the best spots to watch the sunset in Cartagena. You'll be treated to stunning views of the ocean and the city's skyline, and the vibe is unbeatable. The drinks menu's extensive, but you can't go wrong with a glass or a pitcher of sangria or a refreshing margarita. Prices for drinks are around 8 to 12 USD depending on what you choose. While I didn't personally try the food, I couldn't help but notice how delicious the dishes looked as they came out of the kitchen. The menu is heavy on seafood, but there are a few other options for those who prefer something different. It's definitely worth checking out if you're hungry. Insider tip. Café del Mar gets super busy during sunset, so make sure you arrive early if you want to grab a spot with the best views. It's also smart to make a reservation on their website if you're visiting during a particularly busy time. Day 2, Rosario Islands and Rooftop Bar. Morning, Catamaran tour to the Rosario Islands. Given Cartagena's perfect seaside location along the shimmering Caribbean waters, you absolutely have to dedicate at least 20 or 3 days to exploring the nearby Rosario Islands. It's the ultimate way to experience the beauty of the area. There are plenty of tour companies offering various packages, but most of them include snorkeling gear, lunch, and drinks on board the boat. We chose the highly rated Rosario Islands Catamaran tour, and it ended up being one of the absolute highlights of our trip. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this adventure. The tour kicks off early in the morning at Muelle de la Bodeguita port, where you'll hop aboard a sleek catamaran that will be your home for the day. Tickets for this tour typically run around 80 to 100 USD, and that includes a welcome drink, free non-alcoholic drinks throughout the day, and a buffet lunch. As you sail toward the islands, you'll get spectacular views of Cartagena's skyline, so be sure to have your camera ready. The boat makes stops along the way where you can jump into the crystal clear waters for a swim or grab your snorkel gear to explore the vibrant underwater world. While the tour doesn't take you directly onto the islands, this is standard for most tours, the stops around the islands give you plenty of opportunities to soak in the beauty of the area. If you're craving something stronger than soft drinks, there's a bar on board where you can purchase alcoholic beverages. After snorkeling and swimming, you'll enjoy a delicious buffet lunch from fresh seafood and local favorites, making the day even more memorable. Insider tip. Bring plenty of sunscreen and a hat. There's limited shade on the boat, and the Caribbean sun can be intense. Also, if you're prone to seasickness, consider taking medication beforehand, as the boat ride can get a bit bumpy. Evening, sunset drinks at Hotel Movic, Cartagena de Indias. Your boat trip will wrap up back at Muelle de la Bodeguita port, just a 15-minute stroll from the fabulous Hotel Movic Cartagena de Indias. If you're still undecided about where to stay, this hotel is worth considering. Located right in the heart of the walled city, it features a stunning rooftop pool with panoramic views of the city and ocean. Even if you choose to stay somewhere else, don't miss out on visiting their rooftop bar. It's open to non-guests, and it's the perfect spot for sunset drinks and those epic views. This was hands down my favorite place to catch the sunset in Cartagena. There's just something magical about watching the sun dip below the horizon, casting golden hues over the colorful buildings and ocean, all while sipping on a refreshing cocktail. Speaking of cocktails, the ones at Hotel Movic are top-notch. Expect to pay around 8 to 12 USD per drink, and they also offer a great selection of local craft beers. Whether you're into fruity cocktails or want to try a crisp Colombian brew, this is definitely one of the best spots to end your second day in Cartagena. Insider tip. Get there about an hour before sunset to secure a good spot, as the rooftop bar fills up quickly. If you're not staying at the hotel, it's still worth visiting earlier in the day to enjoy the pool for an additional fee of around 20 USD. Dinner in the walled city. Now that the sun is set, it's time to grab some dinner, and I've got a couple of amazing spots that are just a short 5 to 10 minute walk from the Movic Cartagena de Indias. I think you'll love these places. First up is La Cevicheria, a must-visit spot that even Anthony Bourdain gave his stamp of approval. This traditional eatery serves up incredible Colombian dishes, and it's almost always packed with people enjoying favorites like coconut ceviche, paella, and crispy tostones, fried plantains. Expect to pay around 12 to 20 USD per dish, and the lively vibe with both indoor and outdoor seating make it a great choice for a fun, casual meal. Next on the list is San Mateo, a charming restaurant set in a beautiful old building that offers a mix of Italian and Caribbean flavors. The menu is extensive, and whether you're craving pizza, pasta, steak, or seafood, you'll find it here. Prices range from 15 to 25 USD for main courses, and if you stick around a bit later, you'll be treated to live music, adding an extra layer of magic to your dining experience. Another personal favorite of mine is El Burlador Gastro Bar, a sleek spot that combines fantastic food with live entertainment. The menu here leans into Spanish cuisine with dishes like gazpacho, carpaccio, and octopus. You can expect to pay around 18 to 30 USD, but the highlight is definitely the old-school flamenco performances that take place while you dine, an unforgettable experience. Day 3. Playa Blanca or Totumo Mud Volcano Adventure. Morning. Option A. Beach day at Playa Blanca. For your final day in Cartagena, I've got two options for you to choose from. The first option is a beach day at Playa Blanca, which is often considered one of the best beaches near Cartagena, but to be completely honest, I debated whether I should even mention this option at all or just stick with option B. Since Playa Blanca is such a famous spot, I figured I'd give you my honest opinion about it. While I plan to write a separate post on why I don't recommend visiting Playa Blanca, here's a short version. It's a beautiful beach, but it has unfortunately turned into a bit of a tourist trap. It's difficult to get there, it's overpriced, and it's way too crowded. Playa Blanca is truly stunning with its white sands and clear waters, but the downside is that it's packed with tourists. Vendors are everywhere, constantly trying to sell you something, which can make it hard to relax. The restaurants along the beach are also nothing special, and the food is ridiculously overpriced. You're looking at around 20 to 25 USD for a meal that's just average. Getting to Playa Blanca can be a real headache too. There's no public transportation option, and while there used to be a shuttle bus from Cartagena, it's no longer running. Your only choices are to take a taxi, Uber, or join a tour. We opted for an Uber, which turned out to be a long and pricey drive, around 30 to 40 USD one way. The worst part was the return trip. We couldn't find an Uber or taxi back to the city, and after a lot of stress and broken Spanish, we had to arrange a ride with complete strangers, which wasn't the most comfortable experience. In the end, while Playa Blanca may look like a dreamy beach day, I honestly don't think it's worth the hassle. If you're set on going, I highly recommend booking a tour that will handle all the logistics for you. This can make the experience much smoother and more enjoyable. Otherwise, I'd suggest sticking with option B, which might save you some frustration and make for a more relaxing end to your trip. Insider tip. If you do decide to visit Playa Blanca, bring plenty of cash. Most vendors and restaurants don't accept cards, and you'll need to pay for things like food, drinks, and lounge chair rentals around 10 to 15 USD. Option B. Totumo Mud Volcano Experience. If you're looking for a safe and truly unique experience, why not join one of Cartagena's most unusual excursions? Just about an hour north of the city lies Santa Catalina, home to the fascinating El Totumo mud volcano. Now, this isn't your typical volcano, there's no fiery lava here. Instead, El Totumo is filled with warm, soft mud that's said to have rejuvenating properties. The Totumo Mud Volcano experience is a must-do and a perfect addition to your 3-day Cartagena itinerary. The whole trip lasts around 4 to 5 hours, depending on how busy it is, and costs roughly 25 to 35 USD per person. In the morning, you'll be picked up from Cartagena and whisked off to Santa Catalina, where you'll learn a bit about the area's history and the volcano itself. After a short 50-step climb to the top, you'll dip into the thick, silky mud, which, according to the local legend, works wonders on your skin. People say it makes you look years younger. If you want to go the extra mile, you can enjoy a mud massage for just an extra few dollars. Once you're done soaking in the mud, you'll wash off in a nearby lake before heading back to Cartagena, feeling relaxed and refreshed. Insider tip: bring a swimsuit you don't mind getting a little muddy, and cash for tips, as locals help with the massages and washing you off in the lake. Expect a tip around $2 to $5 USD for these services. Also, be prepared for a very slippery and fun experience. It's all part of the charm. Evening. Explore Boca Grande. When you're exploring Cartagena in 3 days, I highly recommend setting aside a few hours to visit Boca Grande, an upscale neighborhood that feels like a little slice of Miami. With its palm tree-lined beaches, sleek high-rise hotels, and luxurious restaurants, it's the perfect place to unwind and soak up some sun. If you're in the mood to relax, Playa de Boca Grande is the main beach in the area, located just a quick 10-minute drive from the walled city. You can rent a sun lounger and umbrella for around 10 to 15 USD, or opt for a cabana if you want a little extra comfort. Spend your day lounging on the soft sand, taking a dip in the sea, or simply enjoying the beachy atmosphere. Boca Grande is also one of the best places to stay if you're looking for a quieter, more modern vibe compared to the busy and bustling walled city. If you want something a little less crowded than Playa de Boca Grande, head to Playa Castillo Grande, located at the far end of the peninsula. It's a bit quieter and more laid back, perfect for those who want a more peaceful beach day. And if you're feeling up for some shopping, Boca Grande has plenty of high-end boutiques and unique stores to keep you busy for a few hours. Whether you're hunting for souvenirs or treating yourself to something nice, you'll find plenty of options here. Dinner at Boca Grande. As I've mentioned before, Boca Grande is home to some fantastic dining options, so staying in the area for dinner is definitely worth your time. One of the top places to check out is Lena y Carbon Restaurante, known for its premium cuts of meat and local favorites like bandeja paisa, a hearty mix of meats, beans, and rice. It's a great place to savor authentic Colombian flavors, and for the best experience, I recommend grabbing a seat on the outdoor patio where you can enjoy the lively atmosphere and local music. Expect to pay around 15 to 25 USD per meal. If you've been sticking mostly to traditional Colombian food during your stay, why not mix it up with a visit to Di Silvio Trattoria? This cozy Italian spot offers delicious options like bruschetta, thin crust pizza, and creamy gnocchi. Dining al fresco here is a real treat, especially in the evening when the breeze picks up. Prices here range from 12 to 18 USD depending on your choice of dish. For something a bit more eclectic, El Café Boca Grande has a wide variety of dishes for when you're not quite sure what you're craving. Their nachos, cheeseburgers, and poke bowls are all popular choices, but I also loved their fresh salad bowls. Meals here typically cost around 10 to 15 USD. If you're staying nearby, the cafe is also a great spot for breakfast, and their coffee is top-notch too. Definitely a go-to for your morning caffeine fix. Insider tip: Boca Grande can get busy, especially at popular restaurants, so I recommend making a reservation in advance if possible. Also, while credit cards are accepted at most places, it's always a good idea to carry a bit of cash just in case. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through Cartagena. I hope this 3-day itinerary helps you make the most of your trip to this beautiful city. From stunning beaches to rich history and vibrant street art, Cartagena truly has something for everyone. If you're planning to explore more of Colombia, be sure to check out my Medellin travel itinerary video next. It's packed with exciting tips and must-see spots to help you plan your perfect Medellin adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more travel guides. See you in the next video.